she was okay. You know, I said, yeah, all right. So I'm teasing. I was in love with her before I got to the Philippines.
Yeah, yeah. Hello everybody, this is Bud Brown. Hey, the best part about living here is meeting new friends, new people, visitors, and expats that already live here. So I wanted you to meet this couple that very influential on me with my new YouTube channel. You probably heard me talk about Brian and his YouTube channel, Foreigner Farming in the Philippines. Well, I have an opportunity to get together with him here at Gabby's Bistro on the Boulevard, and we were just chit-chatting, and I'd like to introduce him to you. A lot of you know him already, you're subscribers to his channel, but there may be some that are subscribers to my channel that haven't really met Brian, so I want to introduce him to you. Hello.
This is the lovely Maricel.
Maricel and Brian. Now, I'm curious, and I think that my subscribers too would be curious about your story. Everybody has a story. How did they get here? What is your connection to the Philippines? And you are from the States. I mean, you're an American, so maybe you could just kind of tell us your story. How?
Well, I am from the U.S. I'm from California. I had a business there, ice cream trucks, an ice cream truck business, and it was a long row of basically. I'm trying to think of the word and I can't. Big roll of doors in the front. They were just basically warehouses, a long row of them with other businesses. And at the front of this complex was a mechanic. And he was married to a Filipino. And I've known Martin for a while, years, and was kind of around in the process of him meeting and eventually marrying his Filipino. And so I was kind of watching from afar to how this all went and his trials and tribulations, because it never seems like it's a smooth run. For a foreigner before they end up in getting the lovely bride, if that's what they're looking for. And so she had family. Well, of course, Martin met Miriam. She came back to the States. They have a son, and so I met her and was chatting with her. And of course, every Filipino that you meet, it seems like, well, you should get a. Yeah. If you're single, they'll tell you, well, you should find a Filipina and get married, right?
Sure.
Well, yeah, okay. So I started getting interested in the Philippines, chatted online with some ladies, and with varying degrees of success, which is often the case.
Yeah, right.
But I met what's her name here, and I met Maricel online, and we chatted for a long time, almost a year, 9 months, right? And so then decided to come to the Philippines. And she's from North Cotabato, which is not the safest place for foreigners in the Philippines, right? Yeah. So
had you been to the Philippines before?
I've never been to the
Philippines. Okay.
Never. Actually, I've never been out of the United States before.
Oh.
This is my first time flying over a big ocean, right? So really wasn't comfortable going to North Cotabato. Because it's close to the Muslim autonomous zone. She could hear them shooting in the distance at times. Bombs going off in towns near where she lived. So it wasn't for me, right? But because I had met Martin and Miriam, she had family on the whole in Lila. And so we kind of figured that we would stay there for a while and get to know each other. We had a base of operations there in Lila at this family's house. And so we could get to know each other, and we could go around and look around and do it that way. And she was okay, you know. I said, yeah, all right. So I was in love with her before I got to the Philippines.
Yeah, yeah.
So we decided. So But I was still working at that time. Never been a wealthy guy, and at that time was still running the ice cream truck business. And so I had to go back home, right? And worked for how long did I go home that time? 2 months? Or it was 9 months.
Yeah.
After we met the first time, yeah. So it was 9 months that I went home.
Wow.
Season, right? And saved up some money, and then came back and we went all over, because I'm not as we were talking before, I'm not
Yeah.
a travel guy.
Yeah.
You get off the boat, you go somewhere in the Philippines.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
you get off the boat, there's
Yeah.
the ocean, there's the hills,
Yeah.
there's some more coconut trees.
Yeah.
Well, let's go home.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
I'm a homebody. I don't.
Sure.
I like to go and visit places where there's friends, people
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just to go see a mountain, well, I've seen mountains before.
Yeah. Right.
It's not my thing, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So the reason we ended up in the hole is that we just never went anywhere else. And I liked the hole because it's just, from my background,
Yeah.
Oklahoma, and my father was born in 1926,
Okay.
and his father was born in 1891, and his father was born in 1860. So my great grandfather was born before the Civil War. So maybe it's a genetic old
Yeah.
school thing.
Yeah.
I mean that's just 4 generations in 150 years.
Yeah.
Because I was born to an old man who was born to an old man.
Yeah.
So when I found the hole and the province life there, I just felt so at home.
Oh.
From growing up in Oklahoma and then ending up in California,
Right.
I was never liked it. Okay.
Right.
But I
Right.
dug the hole. And when you like where you're at, why go look somewhere else?
Sure. Exactly.
And she liked it.
When you find a woman you love, why look for anybody else?
Exactly.
That's what I say.
And
Yeah.
so that's how we looked for property around the hole, found what we liked, and started our little farm, and the rest is history. That's how I ended up.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you think about him when you first saw him? Was it his face?
Too much hesitation there. Come on.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
But my wife told me when we first met, there was no love there. There was a friendship. I enjoyed her company. She enjoyed being around me. And then the love grew over time. So, of course, that kind of twisted my nose a little bit. What? You didn't fall in love with me right away? No.
Maricel's a pretty tiny girl. She's 5'2",
Yeah.
and when
And
we
43 kilos.
yeah 43 kilos. So she's small. I'm 6 feet tall, and even when we met, I was like 125 kilos.
No, it's more than that.
30, whatever it was. So the
like
difference, it was like this huge
Yeah.
monster coming
Yeah.
down off the plane.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that had a lot to do with it. But after a while, she got used to it,
Yeah.
sort of, I guess.
Yeah, because you're smaller now. Not like
Oh, he's fun.
I have lost a bit of weight overall, but in the last, since she started her cooking channel,
Oh. Well, put a plug in on that. What's the cooking channel?
Maricel's Homestead Kitchen.
yeah.
And it turns out she's a pretty good cook.
Okay.
But she doesn't know how to cook for 2.
Oh, it's got to
She
be
cooks
for.
for 4
Yeah.
or 6. And the way I was brought up, waste food.
So yeah.
She doesn't eat leftovers. I don't know if that's a Filipino thing or what. But she doesn't like leftovers, so it's left to me.
You're like me from the clean your plate generation.
Exactly. And the leftovers in the refrigerator, if I don't eat them, they just go bad. So long story short, she cooks way too much food. It's way too tasty, and I'm the only one that
Yeah.
eats it. So I've gained about 30 pounds since she started her channel 6
That's a lot
months ago.
more.
And I'm saying it's all her fault.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, and now that's a good segue into your channel. How did that come about?
When I was doing my research, when I was chatting, even before her, when I was chatting with the other girls, and then when I was chatting with her, you want to kind of find out about where you're thinking about moving to. You're
Yeah,
you're
sure.
changing your whole life.
Sure.
Information is power.
Exactly.
And when you have, the more power you have when you take that leap, the better off you'll be.
Right.
And when I was doing the research, it took me 2 weeks to find out how much an egg cost in Manila, because I didn't know where to look to find that information.
Right.
I didn't know, the thing is in the Philippines is there's no yellow pages. There's no, for me, it was so hard to find information about things that I wanted to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Land prices, the price of goods and services, what is available, what's not available, what's hard to find, what should I bring from the States,
Right.
what is easily available here. It was just a void.
Yeah,
of
so it was
the information that I found so lacking, things that I wanted to know. And so I had the idea that when I come here, I would share my experiences and share what I learned as I learned it,
Oh.
and be able to provide it, because I was a business owner, so I was sort of shielded from this circumstance, but I noticed because my businesses went to crap in 2008, the big crash.
Yep.
And so many men my age who had been working at a company for 15, 20, 25,
Yeah.
30 years were laid off, because the old guys were the ones that were getting paid the most.
Sure.
Companies were streamlining, so
Right.
they let the 50-something guy go.
Exactly.
He's way overqualified for most other jobs and would reasonably expect a high salary, but no companies were affording that. So you just went on unemployment till it exhausted, and then you started eating your assets.
Yeah.
And it happened to millions of guys.
Yeah.
And I thought when I came here, and for me, the United States that I grew up in doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Things have changed so much.
Yeah.
So I felt like an alien in my own country. And second divorce, was just tired of the whole thing. I was tired
Yeah.
of it. And I wanted to make a change and make a change in my life and do something different. And I had the intuition that there were a lot of other guys in my situation who had careers, maybe didn't have a lot of money, but had built up some assets in their lifetime, and were disillusioned
Yeah.
with their lives in America.
Yeah.
And that maybe they would want to come to the Philippines or any other country
Yeah.
for that matter.
Yeah.
And if I could provide some information to help them along,
There you go.
then that was the impetus for our channel. And I don't want to pat myself on the back, but with 22,000 subscribers, I think there was a good many of those gentlemen out there.
Yeah.
And because I'm of the age where I don't have a pension,
Yeah.
and most men my age don't have a retirement pension. Some may,
Yeah.
if they were working for the federal government,
Yeah.
20, 25 years,
Yeah.
they get a
Yeah.
pension. But for guys that didn't have that real sweet job and didn't have a pension, they want to come to the Philippines. Well, they can't compete against a Filipino at our age for the manual labor.
No, no,
Right.
no way.
And the expertise, if you're competing against Filipino wages.
Yeah.
And I can't work with a shovel and keep up with a guy who's only making 350 pesos a day anyway. I can't do it.
No.
And so, if you come here at that certain age, a man of a certain
Yeah.
age, you need to know, you need to have some ideas on how you can generate some income
Yeah.
when you get here, and the change in the visas, just the whole thing. And so
Yeah.
we kind of chronicled our journey, throwing out ideas on and real time, real numbers.
Yeah.
Our channel is a lot about numbers, exactly what you can expect, and not just a vague reference to, oh, you can open up a sorry store and get enough to get by. That doesn't tell anyone anything.
Right.
With our piggery, I've done quarterly profit and loss on it, exactly what we spend on everything, and I've done some breakdowns on other businesses
Yeah.
as well, to give people real numbers and real information.
Yeah.
In the hope that I can help them make that transition. That's what our challenge is.
Yeah. Yeah. So, farmer, no, corn, is it a corn?
A foreigner.
Okay. So you just say it.
A foreigner farming in the Philippines.
Yeah. And your
And
channel is?
Maricel's Homestead Kitchen.
Okay. So we're gonna wrap it up now. Thanks, Brian, appreciate
Well,
it.
but I appreciate it.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
more than welcome.
And hopefully, this was beneficial to you, and let us know in the comments, and we'll talk to you all later. Bye.